I was halfway through disarming a roadside IED in northern Iraq when my phone buzzed in my chest pocket. Normally, protocol says you ignore everything. But something about the vibration felt off-urgent, personal. When I finally checked it, there was a single voicemail from my mother. I hit play. She was crying. "Darren, I don't know what I did wrong. They say I owe thousands now. I just wanted to put up curtains and feed the birds. Please, honey. I'm scared." I froze. My mother never cried. Not after my father passed. Not even after her stroke. But now she was in tears because of some clipboard tyrant in khaki capris playing queen of a cul-de-sac. I got the first military transport home I could. Mom June Renner was the kind of woman who baked cookies for the UPS guy and sent thank you notes to waitresses. After Dad died and the stroke limited her movement, she sold our old house and bought a small, quiet home in a semi-rural neighborhood called Birch Hollow, supposedly peaceful. But Birch Hollow had an HOA, and in my experience, HOAs were just legal gangs and golf carts. I didn't head straight to Mom's house. I took a detour to the neighborhood, wanted to see the battlefield for myself. Her house looked perfect. Freshly painted shutters. The birdhouse I made as a kid still hung proudly on the porch. And the ramp I installed after her stroke, simple, clean, necessary. And there, like a wart on perfection, was a thick violation packet duct taped to the front door. Unauthorized ramp modification, $4,000 fine. Curtain color in violation of neighborhood code, $1,200. Unapproved yard ornament, the bird feeder, $600. The kicker? At the bottom, in sharp cursive, second notice. Legal action imminent. Mom tried to play it off. "It's nothing, honey. Don't stress." But her eyes were puffy, and her hands shook when she poured the tea. She told me everything from passive-aggressive notes about lawn clippings to threats of foreclosure. It all escalated when she added the ramp. She'd filed the paperwork, included the doctor's notes, even offered to pay the retroactive application fee. But Karen Whitmore, the HOA president, had rejected it all. Said the ramp disrupted the community visual harmony. Then Karen doubled down, sent 2 property compliance officers to inspect Mom's house. 2 sweaty guys in polos who demanded access to photograph her backyard. Mom, being too polite and intimidated, let them in. I took her hand and smiled. "Don't worry. I won't do anything reckless." I lied. I don't like bullies. I never have. And Karen Whitmore had no idea who she was picking a fight with. I didn't storm her gates. I didn't file a complaint. I went quiet. Tactical. Reconnaissance. For days, I sat on that porch in jeans and a t-shirt, sipping coffee and watching. The HOA patrol drove by twice daily. Same guys. Same golf cart. Same smug clipboard routine. I started tracking patterns, times, routes, who they targeted. It was never the houses with big flags or pristine landscaping. Always the modest homes. The ones with old cars or window boxes. Karen herself passed by every morning at 7:45. Walking her yappy little mutt, Louie. She always paused in front of our house just long enough to make eye contact, then turned her nose up like she smelled something rotten. I started digging. First, I pulled the HOA bylaws from their dusty website, last updated in 2007. Full of typos, barely formatted. I highlighted every regulation cited in Mom's violation letters. Turns out, most of them weren't enforceable without a board vote. Karen had signed off on them solo. No co-signatures, no meeting minutes. Just her and a stamp. Second, I installed security cams. A bird feeder on the front lawn, a decorative lantern on the porch, and a motion-triggered dash cam on the mailbox. All discreet, all high-res. Within days, I had footage of HOA cronies stealing notices, snooping through the yard, and photographing my mother without consent. Then Karen made her biggest mistake. She showed up, clipboard in hand, sunglasses on, lips pursed. "Oh, didn't realize you were back," she cooed. I said nothing. Just reminding June her court date is next week. HOA violation hearing. Failure to comply will result in a lien and, eventually, repossession proceedings. We may have to find her a more appropriate living environment. I smiled. Appreciate the reminder. She walked away, pleased with herself. That night, I created a file. Titled it, Operation Karen Collapse. I filled it with everything: video, photos, emails, legal footnotes. The next morning, I parked my truck halfway across the lawn. Technically a violation. On the tailgate, I slapped a sticker, Federal K-9 training vehicle. Do not touch. Fake? Absolutely. Effective? Beyond. The HOA enforcers came. One took photos. One made a call. That night, a tow truck showed up. The driver took one look at the sticker, got back in his truck, and drove off. I installed a brand new mailbox the next day. Heavy steel, military grade, bolted into a concrete base. Not a violation, but odd enough to draw attention. Within hours, a new fine appeared. $950 for unsanctioned mail infrastructure. Caught on camera, the same officer yanking on it and falling on his ass. I did a business search. Whitmore Property Services owned the HOA enforcement company. Karen. She was fining residents, then using her own company to issue enforcement contracts. Profiting off her own harassment. It got worse. She didn't even live in Birch Hollow. Her address? A gated community 20 minutes away. No HOA. That week, I posed as a wellness rep and visited neighbors. Asked casual questions. Learned that nearly everyone over 60 had received non-standard fines. Most of them had paid out of fear. 23 families. I built their testimonies into a formal complaint. But I needed more. So I baited her. I left a fake form on the mailbox. She took the bait. Her guy stole it the next morning. Caught on camera. 2 days later, Karen arrived with her officers and served my mother an eviction notice. Failure to resolve violations. Transition arrangements will begin Friday. Transition to what? I asked. Karen smiled, thin and cold. Community standards must be upheld. I handed her a sealed envelope. Inside, a cease and desist letter from a veterans legal advocacy group signed by my friend Tyrellin ex-JAG attorney. Alleging elder abuse, ADA violations, and fraud. Karen turned pale. She left without another word. That night, every mailbox got a flyer accusing me of being a threat to neighborhood harmony. So I called a town meeting at the VFW hall. Coffee, donuts, and truth. 47 people showed. I played them the footage. Karen laughing about breaking my mother's will, mocking veterans, joking about fake fines. Faces went red. Eyes welled. Stories spilled out. We voted. 51 signatures. Karen removed. HOA board dissolved. A temporary committee formed. Financial records subpoenaed. Karen went into hiding. The local paper ran the story. Veteran exposes HOA corruption in Birch Hollow. A month later, my mom received a letter, all fines voided. No liens. No legal action. Just peace. Karen? She listed her house quietly. Moved away before charges landed. Her shell company dissolved. Fraud investigation pending. We rewrote the bylaws. Clear, fair, accessible. A clause added in honor of my mother, no resident shall be denied accommodations for health or age-related needs. Before I deployed again, I hung a sign beside that indestructible mailbox. Protected by a Navy vet. Bullies beware. And that was enough. The war was over. And the right side won.